That must be Overwatch, right? Team Fortress, yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, so whatever they're working on is not going to be good, and you can be sure whatever Half-Life is. Let me just tell you, you don't want it. Let me tell you, there's nothing that you want. Waste not, want not. Everything you've ever needed has already been created. You need not want any longer. You should realize that you don't want what you think you want. Because when you get what you think you want, it takes from you. You know? It's, for example, now look, I'm not Mr. Gaming, and I try, even if it's a good game, I'm like, I'll be sleeping with my eyes open. Like, I don't know, there's just something with me and gaming right now, but I don't even want to say it. The new Monkey Island. We all love Ron Gilbert, the truest mastermind of Monkey Island and Day of the Tentacle, too? Maniac Mansion, Day of the Tentacle. So, look, it's been so many years, I don't even have a mind anymore, so I shouldn't even have brought it up. But the toil, the things that you like in games, the framework will be used, but it'll be filled not with wonderment and not with curated, specific design and creation, not that, but with toil, and with gambling, and with politics. You try that, a few decades ago, streets would have been lined with crosses. Listen to what I'm saying, or don't. It's shocking to me. The first time I saw Minecraft, my hair started falling out. I said, no, no, no. First time I saw the clicking of brick or whatever and the component parts, I was like, no, the devil is here. I said, Jesus Christ Almighty. Satan is this world. We derive a lot of wonderment from Minecraft, of course. I'm not going to be sitting there and mining. And knowing that people do mine on the server does bother me a little bit. But everyone insists that there's sort of no density to the achievement of those builds without the mining of it, which I disagree with. Hey, if you're able to use that as a holodeck, and you can turn off parts of your mind, you can put yourself into a game. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. Hey, maybe that's a skill, maybe that's a virtue. I think the current problem with gaming is that we're gaming 1,000 drones, getting 1,000 drones to do what 20 years ago had a team of the best minds in the industry sitting down to create. Yeah, we get it. Yes, sure. The outsourcing, remember that word? Who remembers that word? You know where that it comes from. Wow, it comes from, I don't know, it comes from forever in this country, I guess, but it started to really ramp up in probably the early 90s, I would say, in very serious ways. But you give that a generation, you give that a few decades, you give it just time, you plant that, you sprinkle it with time, and I know there's a whole network of a lot of stuff that make people unaware of it. You sprinkle a little time, 30 years later, you're looking at a new movie called Irreversible. Now look, and that's not a curse, that's not a prophecy, and it's not even really anything, because it's because it is reversible very easily, but it's just cemented and crystallized as irreversible just because of the nature of that sort of long warfare. I mean, this is just a litany always of classics. We'll get to it, but I've a song sabbatical. We need look no further than the credits of Deus Ex. And this isn't a commentary on sex or race or even, well, it is aptitude. It's not sex and race because the transition of development teams was implemented worldwide. Anyway, yep, this gaming thing is what it is. You don't have people that aren't weird direct your movies. Now you don't have people that aren't weird direct your games. Is there anything else to say about it? Other than this? I'm just saying. The games are not any different any longer. All the IPs and all the mechanics and all of the quality and all of that you've seen were built by the computer scientists of bygone years. They were the serious computerists, I guess you could call them. It always seemed like a serious computer business when the Apple whatever E came out. Seemed like a very serious business. Seemed like a sort of a signaling business. So, how could it ever be anything like that? Now that you know, everyone knows there's nothing to look forward to in regards to gaming. The only thing that there could be to look forward to is access to an AI that could build at your specification. That would be the only thing you could look forward to in this world. The things that are going to be made for you, well, they're not, whatever. They're not made for you. They're made for children. You know what it is, gaming. And you can talk about hours and time and what about whatever. Why bother talking about that? About time sync and all that? Like, why bother? People that game, at least here, they understand. You get the worlds they build for you now. You get Mass Effect Andromeda. Such worlds to show you. That's the best we can come up with. Maybe it's too old to be a good example, but go to, I mean, anything. Starfield. Anyone have documents? Anyone have fun playing Starfield? I got through the tutorial, a little bit of that, and I landed on the first mission planet. I looked around and it didn't mean anything to me. Just I was looking around, like I didn't care to know. I wasn't like looking for a door or I wasn't bothered to, so I just turned it off and uninstalled it. I decided against even bother. I'm learning about classes, wasting my time learning about classes and all that. I mean, yeah, people played it for a lot, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Play whatever. It's a Bethesda game or whatever it is, but it's just I don't know. I'm just not inspired. I wasn't inspired to play it. You know how in Deus Ex, when you get into Hong Kong or you get into a new zone, there's some zones that are kind of slow or a little bit, I don't know, whatever, but you're sort of inspired to walk around and look around, okay? I didn't want to know. First of all, I needed a scooter or something to run across or get light speed shoes or whatever, whatever attribute I need to put more to foot speed. I think it's definitely charging somewhere in the kitchen. Being electrocuted. You know what I'm saying, though? Put more attributes to feet so I could run really fast and put wheels on my... Maybe even not remove my feet, but attach a set of wheels on the outside of either leg, sort of like training wheels. You know, like a roll shoes. I could roll around, like do something good like that. So I could go fast, but I didn't even feel like walking to the first guy or the first door. I just turned it off and uninstalled it. I was like, wow. Hey, look, maybe it's a sign of madness. Maybe it's a sign of wisdom. I don't know, those people got a lot of time out of it and enjoyed it, so it has to be enjoyable. Just because I didn't want to walk to a door or whatever it does. I know it has to be enjoyable. We tried Outer Worlds, Inner Nightmares, Outer Hell. That was so busy. The art in it was so busy. The interactions, they just didn't mean anything. Gaming has gone so far backwards with giving you more. More is less when it comes to game. As you know now, with open worlds and all this, we all know this very much these days. So I just couldn't. We had some good times. We had some good bug times in Outer Worlds, if I recall. There was some good bug times. But, yeah, I don't know. Starfield, oh, man. It was like, that's crazy. Look at that. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, that's crazy. I just couldn't even, like, you can't even fly. I don't know. I mean, what point is there to a space game these days, I guess? If you can't ride it like how a good Cowboy Bebop game would play, you know what I mean? If you can't get into the swordfish or whatever the thing is called, nightstick, and if you can't go right up and through an atmosphere and do a dogfight in there and then dip off, hide yourself behind an asteroid, and then fly around the other side of the planet, go to a gas station in the middle of the night, someone tries to mug you at a gas station, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do, if that's not in the game, then there is no space game. Like, that's a space game. What I just described. It's not light years away, this and that. Where there's an alien force that's going to eat the world. It's not whatever the Starfield thing was. Like, every experience is God remembering himself. Like, who knows where they went with that. That's not a space game. That's just, I don't know, like devil worship or something. You know what I mean? What I just described was a space game. Okay. No Man's Sky. Sure, you can descend onto a planet. I don't know if I've ever tried it. Get down there, but then you look down on the planet and you see what it is, and you ask yourself, why am I here? And then, okay, now let's actually play the game. You're mining, and you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I here? This isn't the way it looks. Look, it's not art direction. There's no structure of anything. It's just there's no gas station to fly down to and gas up. Okay? There's no one to fight at a gas station that's trying, like, that you can pickpocket the red eye off of, you know what I mean? Antoine, whatever the guy's name was. Sergey. Remember that? Oh, those were the days, the bebop days. It's really just the most fun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people feel about it these days, but Asimov, remember him? Yeah. Things like that don't happen in the space games. Know what happens? You get down on a planet, it's just twisted geometry and stupid colors. Oh, wow, this is what other worlds must be like. Yeah. There's a reason why the soil here is neon green. I betcha. Oh, wow. Now it's time to dig it up. You dig in your own grave. You dig your own grave for 15 hours so you can buy a gallon of, I don't know, you can synthesize a gallon of fuel and a few missiles. Listen to me. If this game had come out 20 years ago, I mean, look, maybe that's not the right phraseology. It could be kind of off-putting. If this had come out in a sort of a golden age, or there were competent developers, and there was some outer atmosphere games and planets and stuff, that I guarantee it wouldn't just be just dogfights, pirate dogfights, or whatever. Who knows what happens in the game? And then mining on the ground, like there. If they had released a game, let's say in, I don't know, say whatever, 95, 2000, 2002, 2010, I don't know, say whatever, before 2010, and a space game was a big breakthrough, and people were playing it, and they started up, and they went down to a planet, and they were asked to do toil within the game, again, there would have to be huge security at the development house and probably the publisher. Giant security. Maybe not. It doesn't sound that like riot inspiring, but at the very least, the studio would be gone in a week. It would be bankrupted in a week, in a day. It would be bankrupted even before the game releases. I don't know what my point is, though. My point is that these things are wasted. Your most wonderful fantasies and mechanics and dreams of games, only the skeleton is what you see being built on, and the rest is toil and anti-game. It's like it detracts from life instead of easing it. It's like I don't know what it does. I couldn't tell you what the biology of gaming is. Charles, have you ever seen new leaked Valve game? It's some weird shitty Overwatch clone and part MOBA. I just forget what that is. Is that League or something? It's never been so over for gaming. Oh yeah, well look, no one wanted to hear it. But you see, I'm very familiar with time and what happens during a period, in between a period, the interim. There's not a chance ever that with the staff that Valve has right now, and all with everything and how games are made, there's not a chance they ever make a good game ever again. Not a chance. So whatever new they're working on, Overwatch, whatever that is. What's Overwatch? Or MOBA. What's that, like Moby? Ginkgo biloba? Yeah, that's right. That's what I always wanted as a kid. The advances in technology. That's what I saw in the future. Oh man. Instead of $200 for, 16 megabytes, it'll be $200 for 16 gigabytes in 25 years or whatever. That's enough to be any man's time traveler. And I mean that if anybody understood. No one really, you're not thinking of that stuff as a kid. But if you could go back in time and tell yourself, the shakes, you have the shakes in front of yourself. Don't bother with any of that stuff. Any man would do that if they understood. If they knew that in two and a half decades, instead of their dad upgrading their RAM from 8 megabytes to 16 megabytes. No. The future is ours. Progress. Fast forward, now you're buying 16 gig of RAM. You fast forward another whatever. Fast forward another whatever, however many years. Maybe it's probably 25. 2 terabytes of RAM. Probably straight up 25 years from now. God. Well, I don't want to rave about the technology. We've already done that as of late. But if there is something new, of course, we could all enjoy a little bit of theorizing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to tech, does anyone have any theories of how? Anyone have any interesting computer architecture ideas? in order to not make more efficient, but completely replace the established structures that we all enjoy in our computers. We're all enjoying our computers, hearing without hearing and seeing without seeing. You're able to hear and see things even though they're not there. It's kind of interesting when you put it that way. When you put it that way, it turns into something, a game called Interest. I don't know if you've ever played that board game from back in the day. There was, I don't know, a Concentration or whatever. I don't know. Candyland. There's Operation. There was Thin Ice. Kerplunk. That one goes back to the 60s. You see, this game was called Interest. Dealt with very interesting topics. Kodiak, thanks for the 15 bones, pal. 1 times 1 megabytes equals 2 megabytes. Yeah, that's megabytes for you. And now to throw it all in, I mean, you spent your whole life. I mean, everyone understands a kilobyte and a megabyte and a gigabyte and a terabyte, of course. But that doesn't matter though, because then there's bits. Then when you're ordering your internet, it's in bits. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. Now, that may not seem crazy to you, but it's straight up psychotic that all of the internet info on there and all the marketing stuff is in bits. Shocking. And I feel like no one has even ever noticed. No one's ever brought it up to me. It's the craziest thing if you want to know the honest truth, it's the craziest thing I've seen in my lifetime. If you want the honest truth, to me, that was crazier than 9/11. And I saw it straight up when it was happening. I was blessed with that, whatever you want to call it. Call it what you will. Call it ballpark singles, all beef franks. I would prefer to refer to as that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, what are we going to start? Oh, you see, it was a ritual. Oh, we're talking about rituals and sacrifice. Oh, that's fun. That actually sounds pretty fun. I'm saying it's like a ballpark single when Mike Jordan was doing the marketing for it at the time. Even his ass could be bothered to unwrap a single, put it in it, put it on a plate, and put it in the microwave for 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Put it in a damn bun. Eating a ballpark single with long fingers. But the bits really, something I didn't notice for a while, but it drove me insane when everything was in bits. I said, oh my God, I'm really in a nightmare. And I resisted it, and it's sort of, I'm still resisting it completely, almost completely. The only reason why I'm relatively familiar with it, now it's not, look, this isn't rocket science, but I'm saying I just refuse to think in bits, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't. But OBS is that sort of thing too. How many megabits would you like to stream at? Wow. Megabit. How many kilobytes do I want to stream at? No, how many kilobits? Let's do kilobits. No, let's do kilobytes. I'd be familiar with that. I remember downloading kilobytes. I mean, who's not familiar with these things? Well, you're probably not, because you don't bother worrying about things like this. Neither do I. I just know them. Sad. Who's the what is this, Indian internet or something? Like, where do they do bits? Where does it come from? Are you kidding me? So people talking quantum? Those are the cubes that you have to have in a really cold room. And that's the one the scientists plug in. They sort of plug in questions and answers come out, right? And they talk about how, I mean, they state plainly that they're speaking with demons or entities. It's like a plainly spoken thing. It's not like we're all going to be spooked out. You know what I mean? So it's just a bit rough because not even rough at all. There's probably something around here that unifies it with us somehow, some sort of grid. But I mean, it just means that the stuff that we use is equally as mirthful, I guess you could say. I got a few questions for the D-Wave. Yeah, Demon Wave. I mean, what else would it stand for? D. It stands for delight. It could stand for detriminous. That is a possibility, but I think it probably just stands for demon. Probably Billy Zane and Demon Knight might be named after. Excuse me. Could be in Billy's honor. Billy as Marlon Brando, which I think is making a whole lot of sense. Obviously, they both have the guy. They both have a face to him like is it Tanpo or Lanpo? I don't remember. I can't remember. It's one of those things. Well, who cares? From Kickboxer. Remember the guy with the face and might have had a sort of a top knot situation. I don't remember. Probably top knot detective. But But he used to kick his shins into these things and make them so strong where men were afraid to fight him.